Hey everyone, welcome back, and today let's solve this problem. We're given a list of strings and we need to return an encoded version of the strings or the list of the strings as a single string. For example, if we're given an input of a list containing apples, banana, citrus as a string, and we need to encode the input list as the following. As you can see, we have the integer number 5 and then pound sign apple and then integer number pound sign banana, integer number pound sign citrus. So we can make sense that the input list is actually encoded into these strings, right? So I have created a template program here, so let's solve this. So first of all, what we need to do here is, so as you can see from the example itself, we can realize that the number integer in front of the pound is counting the length of the string or length of the item in the input list, right? For example, for apple we have 5. 5 is the length of the string apple, and 6 is the length of the string banana, right? And similarly, citrus has 6. The length of the citrus is 6, and the pound sign is a delimiter, meaning that it's a very special character. It is used to distinguish that, okay, this is something special and it has a different meaning from the given string, correct? So without further ado, let's see how we can do this in Python. So first of all, I have a template here. As you can see, we have a class solution. The function is the encode, def encode self. It intakes strings, which is a list of strings, and the return type is string, correct? And so what we need to do first is we need to initialize our result string. Let's call it res equals empty string. And so what we need to do now is, for every item in the input strings, in this case apple, banana, and citrus, we need to encode it, right? So what are the things we need to have? So we need to have length of each string, correct? And so that is actually integer, but we are going to take it as a string value. So a string, and then we need to append that number, which is the length of the string, with the pound sign, right? Correct. So with the pound sign, so I'm gonna write pound, and also followed by the given item, which is the apple in this case. So in our case, I'm just going to do s, and the s here is actually represents for s in the strings, correct? And so this will be indented, and maybe we can call it result plus equal, because what I'm doing here is that, so so if we look at this example one more time, so what we essentially did here is that we initialize result as an empty string, and that empty string is appended with the length of the string, but this is we convert that length into the string data type, right? So 5 is, although it's an integer, we converted it to string. Very cool. And then followed by the pound sign and s is the item itself, which is apple in this case. And so we want to keep doing this until the end of the strings, which is until we reach citrus, right? So that's why we do plus equals. And now what we can do is we can just return the result, and then over here let's write let's export this class. So let me call it solution equals solution, correct? And let's run it. Hopefully it works, and let's write our test function. So first thing first, what we can do is if underscore underscore name underscore underscore equals underscore underscore main underscore underscore, and this will be, so let's write strings equals, so I'm going to use the example strings. So in our case, apple, correct, banana, and citrus again. Very cool. And what do we need to do here? Well, we need to encode it, right? So solution dot encode function, and it is going to take our strings, and let's call it answer, and we can print our answer. And I just noticed here the return type here is resource warning, which is not we did, it just came up automatically from the suggestion. Sorry about that. So return, we can just do res, which is the result, correct. So if we do here, what is our expectation, what we are expecting to get here? We're expecting to get this, correct, 5 pound apple, 6 pound banana, 6 pound citrus. So let's see what happens. Interesting, 5 pound apple, 6 pound banana, and 6 pound citrus. Very cool, it works. So let's write another test case where we might have a pound sign within the given string, correct. So what if we have, let me just copy these and create another test case. Okay, all right. So what if we have a pound sign here and pound sign here, and maybe I can also have an integer in between that, correct. So what happens, what do we expect to get from here? Well, my expectation is if the program is working correctly, we should get something like 5 pound, and whatever the input string is, because it's not gonna recognize the pound within the strings, because the purpose of getting the number integer 5 is to have an idea of how far do we need to go before we call that sequence, or that that range of the values as one particular word, right? The computer doesn't know the meaning of apple, but we do. But in this case, the computer doesn't know A pound, B pound, E, right? But we had to program it in a way that, well, whatever is within the strings, this is one word. So my expectation is to get A pound, B, P pound, E, and so on and so forth. Let's see what happens with this program. Interesting. 5 pound, A pound, B, P pound, E, 6 pound, B. So basically it worked, right? So this is how we encode a string. Hopefully you guys liked it. Please consider subscribing, it helps the channel a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one.